Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star 2 episode number 42 based on novel. So let's start. The leader of the Xinjiang sect stood on the top of the mountain, looking at the vast Huyang city. When he saw the dark formation covering the entire city, the leader of the Xinjiang sect had cold eyes and said calmly, "Start the looting plan and make a fortune from Huyang city." Yes. The three elders behind him responded excitedly, and left quickly to carry out their looting plan. The leader of Xinjiang sect looked at the city and murmured, "Since we lost the foundation of our Xinjiang sect has lost its income. All along, we have been consuming the savings of the sect. A powerful sect has thousands of eternal true gods, a large number of void true gods, and countless true god disciples. The consumption in each era is very large. They can hold out for a short time, but over time, their resources will be exhausted and the Xinjiang sect will continue to split. For a city as big as Yangcheng, looting it once is equivalent to slowly collecting housing fees for decades." The leader of the Xinjiang sect thought, "Although we have a good chance of winning this war. But if Marquis Zhujiang invites strong enough help, our Xinjiang sect may still be defeated. The strength under Lord Zhujiang is indeed inferior to that of the Xinjiang sect. But if a god king from the Yu kingdom sent elite troops to support Marquis Zhujiang, it would be a big trouble. Preserve the elites of Xinjiang sect and then plunder them for a large sum of money. Even if we lose the battle, we will still make a profit." The leader of Xinjiang sect thought. When the sect was weak, he didn't care if mediocre disciples died. The death of mediocre disciples could also save expenses. "I wonder how much we can plunder from the entire Huyang city." The Xinjiang sect leader's eyes were full of anticipation. 9 super-large mechanical secret treasures carrying hundreds of large flying boats came to a prosperous commercial area in Yangcheng, where there were branches of major forces, large shops selling weapons and secret treasures, blood treasures, and many places for enjoyment. Except for the 8 major factions and Luo, her divine lord's cave, all other eternal true gods and void true gods will not be spared. A voice conveyed, "Anyone who dares to resist will be killed." Yes. The many disciples on the hundreds of large flying boats were excited. They knew very well that the true gods seemed to be the most numerous in the entire city, but the true gods were the poorest. After working hard to earn a few chaos crystals, they were unwilling to take risks and would wait until all the chaos crystals were used up before earning more. First, there are too many true gods to plunder the entire city, and it is very troublesome to plunder. Second, the harvest from the plunder is small, with an average of only a few chaos crystals per true god. Third, the Heart Shadow sect may rule Yangcheng in the future. The countless true gods in Yangcheng are their people. There are many reasons why they did not take action against the true gods. But except for the 8 branches of major forces and the cave of Lord Luo, the Xinjiang sect will not let go of any other eternal true gods and void true gods. In a city, most of the wealth is in the hands of the eternal true god and the void true god. All blocked. A large number of disciples quickly blocked a branch of a major force, the Yunbao building. The Yunbao building covers a very large area, and a large number of secret treasures are placed in the pavilions. "What are you doing?" "We are the Huyang city branch of Yunbaolu. Are you going to attack us?" 2. In the Yunbao Tower branch, there were 3 eternal true gods and many void true god members. They were all looking at the many disciples of the Heart Shadow sect who surrounded this place in shock. Yunbaolu branch, the blood-stained woman from Xinjiangmen walked in and sighed, "My Xinjiangmen has been poor for too long, so I ask Yunbaolu for some help. All the treasures of Yunbaolu branch, including all the treasures on you, hand them all over." Her voice was feminine, but what she said chilled the hearts of the owner, deputy owner, and all other members of Yunbao Tower. "Not a single chaos stone can be left behind," the blood-stained woman said calmly. "We, the Heart Shadow sect, will personally search your entire body. Anyone who disobeys will be killed." The owner of Yunbao Tower, the 2 deputy owners, and many members of the Void True God were trembling with despair after hearing this. They help Yunbaolu in order to accumulate resources. Now all the resources have been looted. The Yunbao building branch belongs to my lord. The owner of Yunbao building said anxiously, his huge one-eyed face full of anxiety. The Lord will definitely know about this. If your Lord knows about this, he will surely be considerate of us in the Xinjiang sect, said the woman in blood-stained clothes. Isn't it too much to hand over all the treasures without leaving even a single chaos stone? A void true god at the side couldn't help but say. It took them a long time to accumulate so much, and now that everything has been taken away from them, they are ready to fight to the death. The woman in blood-stained clothes glanced at them, and immediately, a group of Void True God members in that area were silently turned into dust, all of them dead, leaving only weapons and treasures behind. A Void True God dares to speak so much. The blood-stained woman looked at the three owners of Yunbao Tower. Are you going to resist me and surrender? Immediately, the deputy owner said anxiously, I am willing to surrender. Can you not search me? You must search me. The blood-stained woman looked at the three of them. Those who resist will still die. The so-called body search is to let the opponent use divine power to penetrate and search the whole body, including the heart of the true God. This is to hand over your life completely to the other party, and few eternal true gods are willing to do so. But faced with the death threat, the three owners of Yunbao Tower finally bowed their heads. You must search my body. A plain old man looked at the disciples of Xinjiang sect in front of him, and then looked at the super-large mechanical secret treasure in the sky. I voluntarily hand over all my accumulated treasures. Is that not possible? You must search my body. The eternal true God of Xinjiang sect looked at him. If it were entirely voluntary, I'm afraid most practitioners would hide their treasures, and it would be good enough if they could hand over half of them. Alas, I just want to live some peaceful days in my hometown, but you have to force me. The simple old man sighed, and instantly turned into a black shadow whizzing past. Wherever he passed, dozens of disciples, including the eternal true God, died instantly. The super-large mechanical secret treasure in the sky was immediately shocked. Kill him. Buzz. The dark formation in the sky had already exploded, and a terrifying dark force enveloped the black shadow. Xinjiang men, I have been traveling around the origin continent until now, and no one has ever been able to search my body. The simple old man was extremely crazy, and as his voice echoed in all directions, the black shadow had already disappeared. I didn't expect that besides Lord Luo, there was another expert hiding in Huyang City. The super-large mechanical secret treasure in the sky could not find the target, so I immediately contacted the leader of Xinjiang sect. Master, a big enemy has appeared, and we need to find the cause and effect and lock the murderer. The Xinjiang sect immediately started to move and began to hunt down the simple old man. With such a cause and effect, and having been locked by the sect's formation, it was still easy for the Xinjiang sect to track down the cause and effect. Just a moment. The huge plant life of the super-large mechanical secret treasure led by the elder waved countless vines, and the countless vines strangled the black shadow like a dragnet, and the black shadow struggled hard to resist. Whatever, he died in his hometown after all. It was not a loss to kill thousands of Xinjiang sect disciples before he died. In the end, the black shadow was completely annihilated, leaving only some treasures. Humph, not everyone is qualified to challenge the Heart Shadow sect. The huge plant life was filled with murderous intent. Relying on the super-large mechanical secret treasure, as one of the 18 elders, its explosive power was already comparable to that of the Heart Eye Elder. The headquarters of the Dark Forces, Chanshanlu. All the treasures of the several masters of Qianshan Tower must be given to you. Faced with the two super-large mechanical secret treasures suspended in the sky and the many disciples of Xinjiang sect surrounding them, the 7 masters of Qianshan Tower and many void true gods were extremely shocked and angry. As a dark force, they only have the right to plunder. If they are plundered, they must hand over everything and be searched. A man in green said, "You're even searching me." The 7 hosts were shocked and angry. Even if the 5 major families rule the whole city, they have to give us some face. In the future, Huyang City will be ruled by my Xinjiang sect. My Xinjiang sect's place does not need any dark forces. The man in green said calmly. A city ruled by the Xinjiang sect. Except for the branches of major forces, all other commercial forces and local family forces were established by the disciples of Xinjiang sect. Relatively independent forces like the Black Butcher, the master of Menghua Tower, and the Shu clan cannot exist in the territory of the Xinjiang sect. The Xinjiang sect's dominance over a city far exceeds that of the city lord's mansion. The 7 owners of Qianshan Tower looked at each other. "We are willing to hand it over, but you cannot search us," one of the hosts said. The man in green smiled lightly and glanced to his left. A large group of Qianshan Tower members on his left were all turned into powder, including Suo Yun. Suo Yun was cautious among the members of Qianshan Tower, but when the man in green glanced at him, he felt that the heart of the true god was decomposing. He knew at this moment that he was going to die. He didn't even have time to think before he was completely annihilated. A weak person, without saying a word or resisting, was just swept away and died. When he and Suo Zi left the tribe, they were rescued by Luo Feng and successfully arrived in Yangcheng. In Yangcheng, he and Suo Zi took different paths. He tried his best to seize every opportunity, even doing many things beyond the rules and risking his life. However, Suo Zi devoted himself to learning cooking skills in the Fire Realm restaurant. 5 epochs ago, he followed his master, the Black Butcher, and was brought to the capital by Princess Yu Shui Qianyu. And today, Suo Yun died silently. No one even cares. You guys. The 7 owners of Qianshan Tower were shocked and angry. This is a warning. If you keep talking, the 7 of you will die. The man in green looked at them. The 7 owners of Qianshan Tower could only endure it. Okay. The 7 building owners could only lower their heads and let the disciples of Xinjiang sect search them. They took away all their treasures and did not leave them any chaos stone. In the entire Huyang city, except for the city lord's mansion, the 8 branches of major forces and Luo Feng's cave, the eternal true gods and void true gods in all other places were being plundered, and none of them could escape. Those who resisted the robbery in anger all died. The vast majority could only endure being robbed because the gap in strength was too great. What's going on? Luo Feng, who was sitting on the top of the cave, also noticed that the disciples of Xinjiang sect were scattered all over the city, and large flying boats and super-large secret treasures were in action. Lord Luohe, the owner of Menghua Tower, suddenly contacted. The Heart Shadow sect has blocked Menghua Tower. They want to completely plunder Menghua Tower and search me as well. Body search. Luo Feng was surprised. Searching the body of an eternal true god will naturally lead to searching the heart of the true god. Mention my name first to delay for a while. Luo Feng sent a message. If it doesn't work, don't force it. I'll rush over now. Okay. At this moment, the owner of Menghua Tower can only hope for help from Lord Luohe. To cultivate the 7 emotions refining heart technique, he needed the music illusion of the owner of Menghua Tower. Moreover, due to his friendship with En Qianyang, he had to help the owner of Menghua Tower. Master, Master! Mo Yu Qingyang rushed to the top of the mountain, his eyes red, anxious and desperate. Master, my brother Mo Yu Liuxing died. Luo Feng was shocked. Among the 3 brothers of Mo Yu family, the little fellow named Mo Yu Liuxing was someone he had met in Qianyang sect before. He was very talented in refining equipment. Over the long years, the eldest and 3rd brothers of the Mo Yu family would occasionally come to see their brothers and bring gifts. Luo Feng was also quite familiar with the 3 brothers of the Mo Yu family. The Xinjiang sect slaughtered the former Qianyang sect disciples at will, and forced the other void true gods to search their bodies and hand over their treasures. My brother just opened his mouth and said a word, and he was killed. Mo Yu Qingyang was also confused at this moment. The 3 brothers grew up in Huyang City, and now, the younger brother is gone. Although they knew that there are many dangers in the process of growing up, when their younger brother is really gone, Mo Yu Qingyang just feels like a part of his world is missing, and he feels empty. Lord Luohe. Luo Feng received another call for help. Elder Loach, Luo Feng knew that Uncle Loach was an old servant of En Qianyang, and many affairs of Qianyang sect were handled by Uncle Loach. Lord Luohe, please, save the disciples of Qianyang sect. Uncle Chio had always been reluctant to disturb Lord Luohe, but this time he was anxious. When Qianyang sect was disbanded, many disciples of Qianyang sect went their separate ways. Many of them established equipment refining shops, and the largest one was the 9 great equipment refining shops. This time, Xinjiang sect robbed all the void true gods, not letting anyone go. And they slaughtered them if they were dissatisfied, and many disciples were killed. Uncle Chio said anxiously, I know that the god is also in a difficult situation, I just asked the god to save the 9 equipment refining shops. Morosa stepped aside instantly and looked at Mo Yukinyan. What did you say? Your brother died. It was the little guy who brought food last time. He was killed by the Xinjiang sect. Mo Yukinyan nodded. He couldn't accept it at this moment. Master, what are you waiting for? Morosa looked at Luo Feng. Luo Feng was not surprised. He had known for a long time that the origin continent was a very cruel world. Those tribes living in the wild might disappear quietly one day. Once those chaos masters and ancient god kings took action, they would destroy the world. Regardless of the level of practitioners, there are kind ones, some are indifferent and solitary, and some slaughter all living beings just for their own benefit. This is the law of the jungle under the natural law of heaven and earth. Those practitioners who slaughter all living beings just for themselves are damn scum. I am also a part of the nature of heaven and earth when I kill these scum. Luo Feng thought, it's just that my ability is limited. Even the ancient god king could not affect the order of the origin continent. At this moment, Morosa and Mo Yukinyan were waiting for Luo Feng to make a decision. Xinjiang. Luo Feng looked at Mo Yukinyan. Where are the rest of your family members? Father is in the city lord's mansion. The city lord's mansion is now under lockdown, so father can't come back. Mo Yukinyan explained, my eldest brother's family is at home now, and my sister-in-law is pregnant and is also recuperating at home. The situation is bad now. I am going to leave the city. Luo Feng said, are you and your family willing to follow me out of the city? Of course I am willing. Mo Yukinyan nodded, I have already sent a message to my father. Father said that everything is up to the master. Yes. Luo Feng looked at Morosa. Morosa, you go to Menghua Tower now and save the owner of Menghua Tower, Aluya, and their companions. Morosa's eyes lit up, and he immediately transmitted his mind, Master, if we take action in the city, we will be discovered by the Heart Shadow sect and the city lord's mansion. How much strength should I reveal? As strong as Elder Xinjiang, the means can be more powerful. But the power must be controlled. Luo Feng transmitted the message that the outside world had long suspected that he was an elite cultivated by a large force. Especially since he refused the recruitment of the King of Yu State, people all speculated that he had a powerful master and believed that Morosa was his protector. Let the outside world speculation come true. Understood. Morosa had wanted to take action for a long time, and only after his master allowed him to show some of his fangs. Begin the action. Luo Feng waved his hand and put away the black jade-green rock. Luo Feng and Morosa disappeared at the same time. Inside the city lord's mansion, Mo Yuhu was alone in a room. The third child. Mo Yuhu was heartbroken when he heard the news. After his wife passed away, the 3 children were the most important thing to him in this world. He regarded the 3 children as more important than his own life. The friendship with Luo Feng, including the treasure obtained, was used to exchange for opportunities for the children. Now, the third brother is gone. I knew long ago that this is how the world is. Mo Yuhu also had a strong hatred in his heart, but I can't take revenge. That's the Xinjiang sect. The Xinjiang sect that is unmatched by the entire Zhejiang chaos state. Mo Yuhu was in pain and powerless. The high and mighty Zhejiang who was now trying to mobilize his forces. What could he, a small void true god, do? My greatest luck was that I was able to meet Lord Luoha. Mo Yuhu thought, I hope that Lord Luoha will be able to do everything well and leave Huyang City with Lai Feng, Qingyang, and the others. Mo Yu family cave. Xinjiang men. Mo Yu Lai Feng stood by the lake, tears in his eyes and a ferocious face. Killed my brother, I, Mo Yu Lai Feng, swear that I will do whatever it takes to avenge him in this life. Even if it takes thousands of centuries, I will not give up. Among the 3 brothers, the eldest brother Mo Yu Lai Feng is the most talented, the bravest and the most murderous. The third brother was the most introverted, and just wanted to practice quietly. Whoever wanted to leave first left. In this world, you can't practice quietly just because you want to. Suddenly, a figure in black robes walked out of the ripples in the void and appeared above the cave. Mo Yu Luo Feng saw it and immediately saluted respectfully, "Lord God. We are all ready." Luo Feng nodded, and with a wave of his hand, he collected all the creatures in the entire Mo Yu family, including the buildings. Next, it's the 9 refining shops. Brother Entropy, this is all I can do for you. Luo Feng thought. He took a step and disappeared through the void. Although the dark formation of the Heart Shadow sect has a stronger suppression on space, Luo Feng's understanding of space has reached a very deep level now, especially the leaves of the mother tree of Shuxing in his body. On the one hand, it is more in line with space, and on the other hand, observing this leaf frequently also makes Luo Feng gain something. When the Qianyang sect was disbanded, all the disciples went their separate ways. Some joined other forces, some set up their own equipment refining shops. The largest of them was the 9 equipment refining shops. The Mo Yu equipment refining shop, established by Mo Yu Qingyang and his wife Mo Yoshang, was quite impressive, covering an area of tens of millions of kilometers. The Mo Yu family has quite a foundation in Huyang City. His father follows the deputy city lord Mo Lemeng. The eldest son of the Mo family is a disciple of Shu clan's eternal true god, Shu Yu. The second son of the Mo Yu family is a servant of Lord Luohe, who has only 2 servants around him. Therefore, there are many disciples of Qianyang sect who follow Mo Yu Qingyan and Mo Yoshang. Take all the treasures away. The Mo Yu weapon refining shop, whether it was displaying weapons and secret treasures for sale, or various secret treasures and materials in stock, were all moved away by the Qianyang sect disciples. Moreover, many refiners in the refinery shop were being searched at this moment, and all their treasures were taken away, leaving not a single chaos stone. A figure flashed and arrived at the weapon refining shop. It was Luo Feng, who arrived via the void. Who dares to trespass into the forbidden area of our Qianyang sect? The disciples of Qianyang sect who were blocking the surrounding area were immediately shocked, and the 3 super-large mechanical secret treasures that were looking around in the sky all looked over. Luo Feng ignored them and looked at the many refiners, apprentices, and customers in the refinery shop. They all stood there, not daring to move. Lord Luohe. Most of these weapon refiners and apprentices came from the Qianyang sect, so they naturally knew Luo Feng. How did Mo Yu Liuxing die? Luo Feng asked. Who are you? There was a shout from outside, "Shut up, that's Lord Luohe." The agitated disciples of Qianyang sect soon quieted down. Luo Feng ignored the outside world and looked at these weapon refiners. One of the burly weapon refiners immediately said, "Lord, today the disciples of Qianyang sect suddenly arrived." Without saying a word, they pointed their fingers and killed many weapon refiners, a large number of apprentices and many customers. The whole weapon refinery shop was so scared that it quieted down. After that, Qianyang sect said that all treasures and materials in the weapon refinery shop belonged to Qianyang sect, and all void true gods had to hand over their treasures and be searched. Junior brother Mo Yu is the owner of the weapon shop. He just said, "We are willing to hand over the treasures. Can we not search us?" The burly weapon refiner said angrily. Just as he opened his mouth to speak, the leader of the Qianyang sect pointed his finger, and junior brother Mo Yu and the surrounding weapon refiners, apprentices, and guests were all annihilated. "How dare you say that?" At this moment, 3 figures walked in from outside, led by a purple-robed figure. Under the purple robe seemed to be a divine body condensed from black liquid, with an extremely cold look in his eyes. He looked at Luo Feng and saluted, saying, "Qianyang sect disciple Chan Wuchi greets Lord Luohe." I pointed twice casually. It was you who slaughtered a large number of lives in the weapon refining shop. Luo Feng looked at him. "It's me." Chan Wuchi said, "My Heart Shadow sect is kind, and this time we are only collecting war fees from the eternal true God and the void true God. In order to make the collection smoother, we naturally have to use deterrence." It was him. He killed junior brother Mo Yu. The burly weapon refiner's eyes were crazy. Indeed, I was doing something, and he dared to speak without authorization. He was looking for death. Chan Wuchi nodded, thinking it was reasonable. Killing some void true gods and true gods is just a matter of breathing, it's not a big deal. So that's the reason. Luo Feng understood. Luo Feng also stretched out his hand and pointed lightly. An invisible blade light descended, instantly annihilating Chan Wuchi's divine body. When Chan Wuchi died, his eyes widened in disbelief. This Lord Luo, he actually dared to publicly kill the eternal true god of my Xinjiang sect. He wanted to be a complete enemy of my Xinjiang sect. This scene stunned the other disciples of Xinjiang sect. They were so scared that they immediately retreated from the weapon refining shop. Before coming to Huyang City, they knew that the reputation of Lord Luo was not something that ordinary disciples could resist. Luo Feng waved his hand and collected all the living beings in the entire weapon refining shop, including the guests. At the critical moment, Luo Feng didn't have time to ask for their opinions. If they wanted to come back, he would wait until the war was over and then send them back in person. In this commercial area, there are 3 super-large mechanical secret treasures suspended in the air, and 19 large flying boats suspended in the air. Many disciples of Xinjiang sect are plundering commercial forces everywhere. With the arrival of Luo Feng, all the disciples of Xinjiang sect present became nervous. Lord Luo is here. Uncle Chan Wuchi was killed. These Xinjiang sect disciples were all a little panicked. The 3 super-large mechanical secret treasures in the sky also approached the Black Jade refining shop. They were also shocked that Luo, Divine Lord, took action directly. After all, the Xinjiang sect had always given face to Lord Luo. Lord Luo and his 2 servants would not be offended by the Xinjiang sect. But friends and relatives of the servants. Friends that Luo Feng had made. Luo Feng had lived in Huyang City for more than 30 centuries and had met too many friends, almost all of whom were eternal true gods. Some of them were good friends, while others were just casual friends. The Heart Shadow sect couldn't let them all go. As for the relatives and friends of the servants, the Heart Shadow sect wouldn't care. Lord Luo, you dare to kill my Xinjiang sect disciples. One of the super-large mechanical secret treasures was covered with dark green scales, almost human-shaped, and had 8 arms. A dazzling and terrifying blade light instantly tore through the sky, and a dark crack appeared in the space which directly passed through the super-large mechanical secret treasure. The super-large secret treasure was shattered, and most of the disciples in the secret treasure were killed or injured in an instant. Among them, the 11 eternal true gods who commanded the super-large mechanical secret treasure were all killed. This scene made many Xinjiang sect disciples stunned and felt a chill in their hearts. Run away. The remaining disciples were so frightened by the shattered super-large mechanical treasures that they immediately fled. The ones who fled the fastest were the 2 super-large mechanical treasures. I'm doing something, you dare to speak up? When Luo Feng walked out of the weapon refining shop, looked up at the sky, and said coldly, you're really looking for death. Luo Feng's words spread in the void, and the fleeing Xinjiang sect disciples heard them clearly. Looking at the super-large secret treasure that cracked and fell from the sky, Luo Feng waved his hand to put it away, and then took a step and shuttled through the void to the next equipment shop. This video will end here.